Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Dasnia Father. Let's start off with a look at tonight's headlines.
Taisei company demands 4 billion rupees as compensation from the Highways Minister as a late fee for the Colombo Outer Circular Highway. Money and jewellery worth over 95 million rupees robbed from a bank in Thalava. Investigations launched to arrest the perpetrators. Auditor General calls on the Mahanayaka Theros to explain the delay in bringing the National Audit Bill forward.
A daring bank robbery was reported from Thalava, Anuradhapura today, where the thieves had made off with cash and jewellery worth 95 million rupees over the weekend.
Police suspect the theft was carried out on either Saturday or Sunday while the bank was closed. Police say the thieves had used a gas-powered metal cutting device to break into the bank through the back entrance and had cleaned out 3 of the 4 safes on the premises.
The thieves had removed all the hardware containing footage from the security camera system. They had also disconnected the alarm. Police say that security officers are only posted at the bank on working days.
Police dogs were used in an attempt to locate a trace of the thieves at a private plot of land adjacent to the bank and the suspected escape route used by the robbers. The competent authorities had only discovered the theft at the branch of a state bank no more than 750 meters from the Thalava police station on the Padenia-Anuradhapura road this morning. Are security guards deployed at state banks only on working days?
On the weekends, we operate taking into consideration the modern technology in the security systems, sensors and cameras. We do not deploy guards on weekends. Only after the investigation will we be able to determine what kind of technology had been used by them. Subsequently, we will be able to strengthen the security system at the bank.
The public, meanwhile, are scratching their heads and questioning how the thieves managed to disconnect a supposedly ultra-modern security camera and alarm system and rob a state bank located on a main highway. Meanwhile, a vehicle suspected to have been used by the armed thieves who robbed a jewellery store in Mathura on the 22nd of June was taken into the custody of the Kaluthura Police Crimes Division today. Officers of the Crimes Division had discovered the vehicle during a special operation conducted this morning at a home on the Thalagala Meditation Centre Road in the Moragahena Police Division. Police added that a man identified as Madapathage Kapila Kumara, the husband of the registered owner of the vehicle, has also been placed under arrest. The ongoing investigation has also revealed that a relative of the chief suspect, Koskoda Tarka, known as Koskoda Dilshan, had driven the vehicle to the scene of the theft. It has also been revealed that the same vehicle was used to transport 3 suspects wounded during the shootout to the hospital. Police say the chief suspect, Koskoda Taraka, the suspect Chamara who was killed in the shootout, and Koskoda Dilshan had been renting the house belonging to the owner of the vehicle for about 4 months prior to carrying out the theft. The case pertaining to the incident was taken up before Mathura Additional Magistrate R.D.K. Nilmini today. Chief suspect Koskoda Taraka did not appear in court today, citing threats to his life. The second suspect, his brother, Madhuka Nirmal Pereira, was also unable to be present in court as he was in the prison hospital. The third suspect, Atula Kitsuri Kumara, alias Nara Malamala, was produced in court today amid heightening police protection. The additional magistrate ordered that the suspects be remanded until the 16th of July. She also ordered that the suspects be produced in an identification parade on that day.
Meanwhile, a gang of thieves who broke into the home of a businessman in Koswata Battarmulla have made off with cash and jewellery worth 500,000 rupees. Police say the home invasion was carried out by 4 armed men.
The thieves had entered the house and threatened the inhabitants with firearms and hand grenade, following which they had taken the cash and jewellery. The thieves had fled using a luxury vehicle worth more than 10 million rupees, which was parked at the house. Police discovered the vehicle abandoned in the Udupitta area in Ahaligoda early this morning. Further investigations had yielded 2 fingerprints. Footage captured on a CCTV camera in the vicinity had revealed that the car had been abandoned at the location by a single person. The Talangama and Ahaligoda police are conducting a joint investigation into the incident.
The infamous Taisei Corporation of Japan, which secured the contract to build Phase 3 of the Central Expressway, convening the accepted tender procedure, is now seeking compensation of 4 billion rupees from the government as a late fee for the Colombo Outer Circular Highway. This is a Newsfirst expose.
The section of the Colombo Outer Circular Highway from Kaduwela to Kadawata was built by the Thaisei Corporation. There had been a 190-day delay by the Road Development Authority in taking over the road following the completion of construction. In this letter to the subject minister dated the 4th of June, the Thaisei Corporation demands a payment of 4 billion rupees as the estimated prolongation cost. The letter has been signed by Hiroki Horikawa, Chief Representative for the Thaisei Corporation in Sri Lanka. The letter also notes that the deputy team leader in charge of the project had rejected the whole claim for prolongation's cost made by the Thaisei Corporation. The Thaisei Corporation also issues a veiled warning in this letter that if the matter is not resolved, the next available step is to escalate the matter to the Dispute Adjudication Board and thereafter to arbitration, which will not only take time but will also burden the parties to incur substantial costs. Horikawa notes that as previously experienced in the Southern Transport Development Project, the impact of arbitration led to the government having to bear a cost of nearly 5 billion rupees. The letter reads, ultimately, the RDA paid very much more than the claim, the amount of which was colossal. Horikawa writes, quote, "We look forward to your kind intervention in this matter and bring about speedy resolution of the same for mutual benefit," unquote, adding that, quote, "We shall be free to come over at any time convenient to you for a discussion with your good self," unquote. The Thaisei Corporation also expresses deep concern over the expiration of the JICA loan agreement on the 15th of July 2018, noting that if a resolution of this dispute can be arrived at in a timely manner, the said balance loan can be availed of and the matter could be settled for mutual benefit.
Now, on the matter of the Central Expressway, for Phase 3 to be precise, a so-called tender was called. Now, the RDA chairman, that's the Road Development Authority chairman, has written to the Japanese ambassador requesting for recommendations for 3 companies to serve as contractors and 3 other companies to serve as consultants. Now, 3 companies put forward their bids for the contracting part of the Central Expressway Phase 3. Now, they are Thaisei, Penta Ocean, and Wakachiku. Now, Penta Ocean and the other company have no related experience on constructing highways and expressways. However, it was Thaisei that possessed the relevant experience. And now that Thaisei company only has put forward this letter, which we had just moments ago in the news bulletin. Now, when the Central Expressway tender was going on, for reasons best known to Thaisei alone, they did not place a bid bond, which is a complete deviation from due process. Now, instead of cancelling that tender and going in for a fresh tender for this very purpose, what was done was that they called in another player into this tender process, which was put forward as a new one. But there seemed to be no difference. Now, who is this 4th player? This 4th player is called the Fujita Corporation. Now, when Fujita Corporation also came in, there were many lapses in the due process. There was deviation from due process, including that Fujita did not place a bid bond as well, but they put forward a separate bid for this, which was considered by many as an unsolicited bid. Now, that too is another deviation from process. Now, this is what happened to the Central Expressway. And thereafter, we know about the cost of the Central Expressway, whereas the local engineers, the Sri Lankan engineers, highlighted that it takes only around 123 billion rupees or dollars to make this Central Expressway Phase 3. However, it was awarded to another company with a higher amount. And do not also forget that that very company, Thaisei, had given an insurance premium of just over 10.04%, which amounts to almost 100 million US dollars. Now, look at this letter. This is a letter that they had sent to Sri Lanka that addressed to the minister a request for resettlement on outstanding issues. You can see that this letter, if you go through the contents of this letter, it appears that in normal terms, let's sort it out. We don't need to go for arbitration. Let's sort it out amongst ourselves. Now, that is what this letter is telling us, or telling the minister, regarding the construction of this project. They do not want to go for an arbitration and spend more money. They are requesting the minister, let's sort this out before any of us have to spend more money. Now, Thaisei also has a very, very, very questionable track record. You might recall, just a few years ago, an incident took place in Japan where there was a sinkhole constructed that took place on this road, and this road was constructed by Taisei. Now, Taisei also, for the Central Expressway, did not place a bid bond. We must emphasize that this very company that is sending this letter did not place a bid bond for the construction. Like I said, Taisei has a very questionable track record. Instances of road carry-ins recorded in Japan, and they were even reprimanded by the Fair Trade Commission in Japan, which means they have a very, very questionable track record. Now, it is this very company that Minister Lakshman Kiriyalla has tried to award this contract, and also a proposal has been also put forward regarding this matter. Now, this letter also speaks of mutual benefits, but the question among everyone who goes through this letter is, who is going to enjoy the mutual benefits? And these mutual benefits, what are they? The people are watching closely at what transpires from this letter.
Thank you, Zulfik. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa reiterated that measures are being taken to file legal action against the New York Times for its recent investigative report, which claimed the former president accepted funds from China for the presidential election.
It has been handed over to lawyers. Someone had said money was given and that something was taken from the CID. It was also claimed that this is a lie. So this is an attempt to set the entire country on fire based on false claims. This is something concerning the party, so it will be centered on that.
It has come to light that the Central Environmental Authority has not given permission for the construction of the wind barrier aimed to prevent the waste released from the Norachole coal power plant spreading across the area. Director of the CEA for the Northwestern Province, Saman Lenaduwa, said a study is being carried out at present to issue the environmental license for the project.
On the 22nd of June, the foundation stone was placed for the construction of this wind barrier west of the Norachole coal power plant, which will be 1,200 meters in length and 15 meters in height. The project will cost 750 million rupees and is expected to be completed in 2 years. When such a large-scale project is being executed, an environmental impact assessment report must be obtained. Director of the CEA for the Northwestern Province said they have received the application for the EIA on the matter. However, such a report should be obtained before executing such a project. When questioned as to why a report is being sought mid-project, the director noted, as this is a project aimed to minimize harm to the environment, it would not be a serious issue. Nevertheless, Saman Lenaduwa said permission will be granted after considering results of the study conducted by the CEA and the University of Moratuwa. However, documents produced in court have revealed that the proposed wind barrier for which the foundation stone was laid is in fact a form of a mesh that is used in Wyoming, USA to control heavy snow drifts.
Details of anomalies in the contract Sri Lankan Airlines had entered into with Phoenix Rising Ventures were exposed at the Presidential Commission of Inquiry today. Newsfirst's Zulfik Farzan filed this report.
Senior Procurement Manager and Senior Manager of Finance at Sri Lankan Airlines testified today about the contract that was awarded to Phoenix Rising Ventures to acquire the entire in-flight duty-free service program handled by Sri Lankan Airlines. Now, though the contract was put forward by PRV, the Board of Directors at Sri Lankan Airlines had approved to provide this contract to Phoenix duty-free services. It came to light there was no requirement at all at the time for the entire in-flight duty-free program to be outsourced. Calculations led through the witnesses revealed after the program was outsourced to Phoenix, the revenue had dropped considerably when compared to the final year's revenue when Sri Lankan Airlines handled the program single-handedly. It must be noted, according to the Fiscal Management Report of 2018 published by the Ministry of Finance and Mass Media, the losses suffered by Sri Lankan Airlines increased to 28.4 billion in the review period of 2017 compared to the loss of 12.6 billion recorded in the previous year. The report adds, the airline suffered the impacts of an additional cost of 14.3 billion incurred on cancellation of 3 A350-900 aircraft on lease agreement during the review period of 2017 and the closure of the Bandaranaike International Airport for the first 3 months of 2017. Even though the airline was drowning in debt, there were 4 officials in the top management of the airline who continued to enjoy monthly allowances of over 3 million rupees. Sri Lankan Airlines lost its certification from the European Aviation Safety Agency based on a number of shortcomings. In addition, last year Sri Lankan Airlines failed to release an Airbus aircraft to an Indian company after its lease expired. A loss of approximately $700,000 has been incurred due to this delay. These are just some of the more serious issues at Sri Lankan Airlines, and the people are closely watching as to what investigations would be carried out on these matters.
Another project was vested with the public today under the Samata Sevana Yalipibidena Udagammana program by Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa.
The village constructed near the Indikola Palace area in Sevanagala was named Methmalgama. 35 houses were vested with the public. This is the 88th village that has been constructed under the Udagammana program. We will not be disappointed just because the boards were taken down or because the inaugural stone was unearthed. We can only see one thing by looking at them. They follow their leader. They follow the violence, assaults, murders and assassinations. Our vocabulary is more focused on making people live. I would like to say that on the 1st of January 2020, Sajith Premadasa will begin to work to construct 5,000 Udagammana projects in the country. They will remove those cutouts. You cannot kill positive ideas that are etched in the hearts of the people.
The British Council in Sri Lanka announced the findings of its English Impact Survey today.
The survey, conducted in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, is an evaluation of English language capabilities among students in schools across Sri Lanka.
The British Council commissioned this survey, which looks at the level of English of 15-year-olds. A survey that was done before they rose O and A levels and before they reached school leaving age. This survey is one of a suite of products, projects and programmes that we, the British Council, are managing, developing and sometimes delivering ourselves alongside the Ministries of Education, Higher Education as well as Skills.
One of the key findings in the 2016-17 report was that female students outperformed their male counterparts in all assessments and were also found to have greater confidence in their ability to learn the language and were also more strongly motivated to learn.
The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation has introduced a special variety of petrol and diesel which meets European standards.
The new variety of fuel branded as Euro 4 was unveiled at an event in Colombo today. With the new variety of fuel, super diesel and 95 octane will be removed from the market. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation said that the new fuel variety will be priced at the same price as super diesel and 95 octane.
We will be regulating poisonous gases such as benzyl nitrogen oxide and carbon monoxide by containerizing them, and will be introducing this new fuel and will be withdrawing 95 octane and super diesel from the market.
Krishant කොහෙන්ද දැන් මේ තෙල් එක කොහෙන්ද ගේන්නේ Euro 4 එක ගේන්නේ කොහෙන්ද Euro 4 මේක මේ ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන් සෞදි මේ රිෆයින්ඩ් තියෙන්නේ අපි Euro 4 එකේ කමර්ෂියල් මැනේජර් කරා ඉතින් මම ඒකට දෙන්න උත්තර පොඩ්ඩක් අහලා දෙන්න නෑ දැන් මේ ටික වෙනකොට හැමතුමා මේ ටික වෙනකොට අපේ පිරිපහද වලට මොකද වෙන්නේ
නෑ පිරිපහද වලට මොකද දෙන්නේ නෑ. Nothing will happen to that. Anyway, what is being refined is only 1/3 of the country's requirements. There will be no reduction to the refining process, neither will it be stopped.
අපිට රට ගැන දැනගන්න දෙයක් නෑ නේද? කොහෙන්ද මේක ගේන්නේ? කොහෙන්ද තෙල් එක? ඒක ලෝකේ පෝට්ස් වලින් එන්නේ. ඒක යුරෝපියන් ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එකට අපි
තමයි. This is not coming from a single country. We are going on a tender basis and will be importing this fuel from different countries, not one specific country.
ඒක එක රටකින් නෙමෙයි. අමතෝ මිල සංශෝධනයක් වෙනවද මේ
No, we have taken a decision on this. A decision was taken at the last cabinet meeting to appoint a committee that will meet every 2 months. This committee has already come up with a mechanism that will be linked to world oil prices.
මිල වැඩි වෙනකොට වැඩි වෙන්නත් ඒ ක්‍රමවේදයක් දැනට හදලා තියෙනවා. අමතෝද මේ
These are state entities. We cannot stop supplying these entities in the coming few days. We will hold discussions with the President, the Prime Minister and the Subject Minister and decide on how to address this matter.
Auditor General Nagamani Village called on the Mahanayakas of the Malvathu and Askiri chapters and commented on the proposed audit bill, which will be debated in Parliament on the 5th of this month.
The Auditor General called on the Mahanayaka of the Asgiri chapter of the Siam sect, the most venerable Varakagoda Sri Yanaratana Thero, to brief on the matter.
It will be an issue for the wrongdoers. The wrongdoers are the ones who have been strengthened in the state sector. They are attempting to influence this.
We inform all the MPs and Minister in Parliament to immediately pass this bill. We are aware of the dark situation that has arisen over the country's finances. Those need to be removed. We need to bring about peace to the country and we need to act on that.
Thereafter, the Auditor General called on the Mahanayaka of the Malvathu chapter of the Siam sect, the most venerable Tibbatuabe Sri Sumangala Thero.
There is a strong opposition towards this, and it comes from the public officers. During the past 2 decades, financial misappropriation was at a high. This is a bill which will control that. This will benefit the people. It won't strengthen the Auditor General's department or the Auditor General. The Auditor General is strengthened by the Constitution.
Since 2003, the audit bill has been subject to a number of changes, and it was first proposed to vest the power of supervising all departments and corporations with the Auditor General. Yet the draft bill put forward now weakens that power. Through this draft bill, it has been proposed to empower the Ministry Secretary to impose a surcharge of public servants guilty of committing wrong. This power was initially vested with the Auditor General. It has been proposed to remove the power given to the Audit Commission on taking up appeals after imposing a surcharge to a separate committee.
New York Times
We are not able to do that. The reason is because the Hambandha report was carried out as a special project. That does not come under an audit and we cannot prepare a report on that. However, if Parliament makes a special request, we will be able to prepare a report on the matter.
In other local stories, the final rites of veteran actor Roy Silva were carried out today at the Borella Cemetery.
The remains of the late actor were placed at a private funeral parlour in Borella. Roy De Silva, who suffered a heart attack, was 80 years of age at the time of his demise. Politicians, artists, intellectuals and others arrived from morning to pay their final respects to the late Roy De Silva. As per the last will of the actor, the remains were placed in a closed casket. The cortege left for the Borella Public Cemetery following religious activities. Born on the 30th of August in 1937 in Colombo, the name Roy De Silva is written in gold in the history of Lankan cinema. His contribution towards the enrichment of Lankan cinema as an actor, director, producer, screenwriter and a background musician was humongous.
An elephant went on a rampage at the Poson Perahera of the Kahawatha Historic Rajamaha Vihara, injuring 31 people.
The injured have been admitted to the Kahawatha and Ratnapura hospitals. Our correspondent in the area noted that the veterinary surgeon of the Udawalava elephant shelter was also on duty at the time of the event. When elephants are taken, there is a veterinarian present along with the tranquilizers. The elephant might have panicked after it saw a person like Roshan among the crowd.
All 12 boys and their football coach have been found alive after 9 days missing in caves in Thailand. All 13 are safe, the governor confirmed, speaking after a mammoth search operation in the Tham Luang caves in Chiang Rai.
On that note, we wrap up tonight's edition of Primetime News. I'm Basni Athawa for News First.
And I'm Silva. Take care and good night.